If you've been hearing about UTMs or muddying your way through them and you want to watch an expert set up a link and see exactly how it all works, this video is for you. I'm going to show you two different ways to do it, both step by step. Quick note though, I am not going to cover the basics of what a UTM is, what the different parameters are, how they work in general. If you want that background before you watch this video, take a look in the description and go watch my UTMs for beginners video because that covers all of the basics that you need to know. We're just diving right into how do you make a link. Ready to go? Let's go make some UTMs. And by the way, I'm Allie. I'm a data-backed marketing strategist. If you want more data-backed marketing tips that actually make sense, go ahead and hit subscribe so that you get notified when I put out new videos. Now, the first tool that I'm going to show you is Google's free URL builder. So if you Google UTM URL builder, you'll see this Google Analytics campaign URL builder. Click there, it'll take you here. This is a free Google web tool that you can put all of the things that you need in here to build your UTMs. But usually when people come here and use this, they're like, what the heck do I put in each of these boxes? Let me show you. So this is my UTM cheat sheet. I sell this on my site if you want to go grab it for yourself. It has the UTM strategy for email, organic social, and meta ads. You can get it and then it tells you exactly what to put in each box. I'm going to show you here a little preview of the email ones and show you how I would use this if I were building a UTM for a newsletter that I was sending out. So this has the different UTM parameters of source, medium, campaign, term, and content. Again, I talk through what those are in my UTM for beginners video. So when we're on this builder, it asks us for the website URL first. So if this is a link that's going in my newsletter, but maybe it is going to a page on my website, maybe it's going to my data-backed entrepreneur sales page here, I would then copy the link from this page and I'm going to go paste it here in the URL. Step one, complete. Then I need to fill out my UTM parameters. I usually ignore the campaign ID. It's only needed in very specific situations. The next big one we need is source. So if I go back over to my cheat sheet here, I can see that the source is supposed to be my business name _ newsletter or sequence or something like that. Okay, great. So my business name is Akari Digital _ this is a newsletter. Fantastic. Then I go over to medium. That is supposed to just be email for email. Easy peasy. For campaign name, that is supposed to be the campaign or sale that this ties back to, like Black Friday, spring sale, whatever. Or if you have a launch, this could be launch _ whatever launch it is. This is just going to be a general nurture email, so I'm just going to call this one weekly content like it suggests here. And then term and content are the last two. For email, we can use term to differentiate different segments and stuff like that. For my nurture emails, that's not something that I'm currently doing, so I'm just going to leave that one blank. And then content should either be the date of the email and then a short subject line identifier, or if it's in a sequence and there's no specific date, then we do like this is the first email in the sequence or the second email in the sequence, and then a short subject line identifier in case I end up switching that out and I want to compare the two or I'm A/B testing two different things. So for this one, this is a newsletter that I'm sending out today. So today is June 18th, and then I'm going to go _ and then a description of what that subject line. So whatever that is for your subject line, you would put that here. This is just a standard example. Then it has created my UTM here. So you'll see it's got the URL and then it's got all of your UTM parameters prepped. Then I would copy this. I would go to that newsletter that I'm building this for, and on that button or on that URL that I'm sending people to the data-backed entrepreneur sales page, I would replace it with this. If that email had multiple links, like maybe it also had a link to a blog post or to something else on my site, the UTMs here are all going to stay exactly the same because the UTMs identify the email that it's coming from. The only thing that would change is the URL. So maybe I have another link that's just going to my homepage. I can just update the URL to that. And then this UTM link is then good to go for that specific button or link. And that's literally it. That's building a UTM using this free URL builder. If you want the cheat sheet so that you have this handy and you also have the strategy for organic social media and meta ads, you can grab that in the description below and you will have this handy and ready to go anytime you need it. The cons of using this builder here is every single time that you go to build a link, you need to go back to that cheat sheet or ask yourself, okay, what is the source again? What goes there? What goes in the medium? What goes in each of these parameters? How is email different from social? And it can be a challenge to balance all of the different types of links and the different strategies that go with them. Plus, if these links were all part of a campaign, so let's say that I was creating some Black Friday links, Black Friday would be going in the campaign, but maybe one time I put it in as Black Friday like this. The next time I put it in with a capital here. Another time, maybe it's all lowercase, but there's no hyphen. This tool doesn't have a record of how you've done it in the past or how you want to do it strategically. And when you put them in different every single time, it just muddies and messes up your data and it's not as usable for you to analyze. So how I've solved for this with my clients is they use my UTMs Made Simple UTM builder that is powered by Airtable. I've programmed UTM strategy into it. So there are automations and rules so that when you tell it this is an email, it'll say, okay, what type of email is it? Okay, it's a newsletter, and it's going to tag the right things in source, the right things in medium, and it'll ask you all the right questions so that you can tag things effectively. Let me show you how that works. So when you go to build links, you would come to a page like this. You can see that there is strategies for UTMs for email, social, YouTube, paid social, podcasts, collabs, and resources, which might be links that are in your course portal, in lead magnet PDFs, in QR codes on business cards or on print material, things along those lines. This builder has the UTM strategy built into it. So if we're creating that same email newsletter link, I would come in here under email, I would add a new link. I'm going to just give it a name of maybe my June 18th newsletter. And then I open up the panel and then I just need to answer a few questions. So this is a newsletter link. I call my newsletter the data drop. So for me, I've just customized to what my newsletter is called. And in the first 10 minutes of you getting this tool, you customize all the things to your business. And then I've decided that this is a weekly content email. If it was a different type of email, I would select the tag here that applies to that. And then I just need to select the date for it. And then when I scroll down here, as I was doing that, there are automations in the background that are tagging medium, source, campaign, term, and content. And I just need to look for anything in all caps and then update that to whatever I want it to be. So I was just putting example subject line for my demo here. But again, whatever is in the subject line are unique to that so that when you're looking at your reports, you remember what that email is and you don't need to go back and look up what email did I send on June 18th. Once all of these are filled, it's already pulled them into your UTM parameters here. So you could just copy this and go into your email platform and get at the end of every link in your newsletter. Or if you wanted to put your URL down here, then it'll prep the full URL with your UTMs attached. So instead of me having to go back and forth with the cheat sheet and try and think through what was going on here, I just had to answer a few quick questions and then it prepped my UTMs for me. Anything that I needed to update was in all caps and was quick and easy to do. And then it's done and good. And then you can see that all of your links are stored in here. So if at any point in time you need to go back and see, how did I do that last year, last month, last quarter? You have all of that accessible here. And again, we've gone through email here, but there are specific UTM strategies that I recommend for social, for YouTube, for paid ads, for podcasts, collabs, and resources. And this builder has the strategy all built into the back end of it. So you don't need to be a UTM expert, but you can still tag your links like you are. So whichever method you choose, the most important thing is that you start actually tagging your links with UTMs so that you'll be able to look and see, are those emails actually bringing people to my site and are those people buying? Or are people coming from my podcast to my website and getting on my list? Or whatever the important measurable results from your content is, this is how you start to understand if it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. If it is, fantastic, keep doing that thing. If it's not, you can then look at how to fine tune, how to improve it, or maybe decide, hey, that's not worth my time anymore. This other thing is working better. I'm gonna go all in on that. Because at the end of the day, that's what being data backed in your marketing looks like. We're not going to waste a ton of time and energy on things that aren't moving the needle. We're either going to fix and refine them, or we're going to let it go and move on to the things that we know are going to work. The links to both the cheat sheet and my Airtable builder are in the description below. Now get out there and start tagging your links.